Hello, thank you for joining for yoga class today. Today's class is called Back to Basics. So whether you're new to the practice or you've done this before, this class is all about coming back to the basics and refining some of the postures that you might already know. Think about your first yoga class, how every movement felt new and different. I want you to relive that feeling in each of the poses that we go through today. So as we come into a pose, you're probably going to be familiar with it. Just see what the feeling, what the sensation, what the experience is in your body today in that same pose that you might be really familiar with. So we'll start off in a seated position. If you're sitting like me, you might want to take the option to position a block between the legs, and then sitting on the block, noticing that by bringing the hips a little higher up, this will open up the angle of the knees, especially if you're using two blocks. So whether you want to sit on one block or two, just position yourself so that your shoulders are above your hips and your ears are above your shoulders. So if you're not sure what that means, think about if you're rounding at the spine and find that straight spine. Think about the crown of the head rising up towards the ceiling. Just let your hands rest on your thighs or in your lap. Bring the gaze inward, close the eyes. Just connect with your breath. Taking a deep inhalation through the nostrils. As you exhale, release slowly. Inhale, feel the chest rise and expand. Exhale, let it soften. And again. On this next inhalation, I want you to take in peace, all the peace that you need. And as you exhale, open your mouth, take a sigh of relief, let all the stressors in your life go. All we need now is to be on our mat, focusing on our own body, having this experience of taking it back to the basics. On your next exhale, you can tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale, bring your right ear above your right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, take it over to the left. Each time you inhale, take it to the right. Exhale to the left. So you're taking half circles. Just releasing any tightness or congestion that you feel in the neck space. Go ahead and even out the sides. Bring your chin to center. Lift the chin, gaze forward. Take the hands outside of the hips. Inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Exhale, take them back and down. Continue to move with your breath. Notice how your shoulders feel. Start to invite some mobility in. And take one more. Let the shoulders shrug away from the ears. Now on your next inhale, lift the arms up. Let the fingers interlace. Press the palms together. Position the ears between the biceps. As you exhale, take your arms over to the left. Feel a stretch in the right side body. If you prefer, you can drop that left hand down. Reach through the right fingertips. Maybe deepening into this pose. Bringing all of your awareness to the sensation. And then on the next inhale, arms rise up, palms connect. Exhale, bring the arms over to the right. Feel into the left side of the body. Simply notice as you come into this side. taking that right hand down, fingertips to the ground or the mat, maybe the palm, reaching through the left fingers, really feeling a stretch from the left hip to the left arm. On the next inhale, arms rise up. Now, as you exhale, twist to your left, lower the fingertips down. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, twist to the right. Each time you inhale, bring the arms up. Each time you exhale, twist opposite direction. Really paying attention to our spine and our back as we move through these spinal movements. Now, the next time you even things out and you inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down, bring them in front of you. Lift up out of your seat. Remove the block, bring the block out to the side. Come into a tabletop position. So position the wrist under the shoulders, knees under the hips. As you inhale, let the belly lower towards the mat. And as you exhale, lift your back, lower your tailbone. Inhale, belly softens. Exhale, lift the back. Continue to move with your breath. And come back to a neutral tabletop position. From here, extend the right leg, come off the knee, press the heel back. Feel a nice stretch of the calf muscle. Lower the right knee down. Lift the left knee. Come onto the left toes, press the heel back. As you exhale, lower that left knee down. Now rotate that right foot off the mat, out to the right. Rotate the left foot to 90 degrees. Now when you look down, you want to see your left foot, right knee, right hand in line with each other. Inhale, reach the left fingers up. Supported side plank here. Option to take it deeper by lifting that left foot, checking in on your balance. Option to go even deeper by bending the left knee, taking your left hand to your foot. Press the hips forward. Now, if you're in this option, feel the nice stretch at the quad. Feel the psoas opening. Focus on the sensation in your body. And then on your next exhale, release, re-extend the left limbs, bring the left foot down. Take the left hand down. Rotate onto the left toes. Bring the right foot to the mat. Lower the left knee down, back to your neutral tabletop position. Take a full round of breath here. Now from here, swivel the left foot off to the left side. Lift off the right knee, bring the right foot to 90. Now look, check to make sure you've got your right foot, left knee, left hand in line with each other. Then reach the right fingers up on an inhale. Option to stay here. Option to lift that right foot. Option to bend your knee, connecting hand to foot. If you're making the connection, press the hips forward. Feel that nice stretch. Invite that sensation into your body. Let the tightness go. And then from here, release, re-extend the right limbs, lower the right foot down, lower the right hand down, come onto the right toes, swivel the left foot back onto the mat, lower the right knee down. So we're back to tabletop position. Now from here, as you inhale, reach the right arm up, twist to the right. Exhale, weave the right arm behind the left, reach to the left. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, weave it through. We're going to take one more. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, weave it through. Inhale, re-extend that right arm. Exhale, take the right hand down. Take a full round of breath here. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach the left fingers up. Exhale, weave the left arm behind the right. Movement following the breath. Each time those left fingers reach up, imagine you're tapping the ceiling. Reach and extend. Left hand meets the mat. Full round of breath here. Exhale, let go. Now looking at your hands, walk your hand one hand placement forward. Give yourself a little more space. We're setting up for downward facing dog, a very common yoga posture. This is also an inversion, so a nice opportunity to get some clarity. We'll curl the toes, lift the knees, send the hips up and back. Now as you come into your down dog, notice if the hamstrings are tight. If so, you can bend your knees. If the hamstrings are more open, maybe the legs are straight. Think about sending the chest towards the thighs. Maybe you rock the hips from side to side. Now we'll incorporate some mobility from our down dog, shifting to plank position on an inhale breath. Now, as you come into your plank position, you can hold here for a couple rounds of breath. Think about bringing your belly button up to your spine, keeping your body straight. Feel the core engaging, building strength. And then lift the hips, come back to down dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank position. Now hold here for a couple more rounds of breath. Listen to each sound, inhaling and exhaling. If you're starting to build a little heat, you might get rid of a layer. And then press back, down dog. One more time. Inhale, shift forward, plank position. And then exhale is down dog. From here, inhale, lift and lengthen that right leg, toes to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it under your body. Take the right foot over to the left. Now, as you inhale, reach the left fingers up. Exhale, take the left hand down. Inhale, lift and re-lengthen that right foot. Now, as you exhale, you can bend your knee, bringing your heel towards your glute. You might even take circles with your right knee, getting into that hip joint. So taking 3 circles in one direction, and then 3 circles in the opposite direction. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, right foot comes down. Let's take a full round of breath. Exhale, let go. Inhale, lift and lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it under your body. Take the left foot over to the right. Now, as you inhale, reach the right fingers up. Exhale, take the hand down. Inhale, re-lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, heel to glute. Now, you might draw circles with the left knee. And then circle around opposite direction. Inhale, re-lengthen. Exhale, left foot meets the mat. Full round of breath. Now you can stay in downward facing dog, or you can come into child's pose, which is going to be a really nice option anytime you need rest in our practice. So a couple variations of child's pose. This first one that I'm demonstrating, the knees are wide, the big toes are meeting. The hips go down to the heels, forehead meets the mat. Arms are extended forward, fingertips towards the top of the mat. Nice opportunity for some hip opening, also grounding, anxiety reducing. This posture helps us to calm the nervous system and sleep better at nighttime. Now, if you've been feeling like your back is tight lately, particularly your low back, then you might want to come into the option of bringing the knees together, feet together. Now, the arms come by your sides, forehead to the mat. Now, this is a nice opportunity anytime you need to release your shoulders. So just keep these 2 variations of child's pose in your toolbox to come into anytime you need a break, anytime you need to calm the nervous system, anytime you need to stretch your back or your hips. Child's pose is always an option. Now from here, we'll start to shift to a forward fold. So a nice way to get there if you're in child's pose is to come back to downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, you're gonna step your feet one at a time to the top of the mat. You can jump if that's part of your practice. Then inhale, take a half lift, and exhale, fold. Let the arms dangle. Now in the forward fold, check and see if the hamstrings are tight. If so, come back to bending the knees. Maybe the hands come to the elbows, framing the head with the arms. Maybe you bend one knee as the opposite leg straightens, feeling a deep stretch going up the leg into the hip. And then on the other side. You might even rock your arms from side to side. You might even take your palms under your feet, bringing your toes to your wrist crease, and then maybe bending the elbows, bringing your head towards your legs if you're ready to go deeper in your stretch. Forward fold is a great opportunity to stretch the back of the body and to decompress the spine. So you want to make sure that you're not holding your head up. Maybe shake the head forward and back, and then side to side. And then when you're ready, release your hands from underneath your feet. Inhale, take a half lift, and exhale, fold. From here, if you have blocks, you can invite them into your practice on the mat, taking the blocks outside of your feet. Looking at your feet, step your right foot halfway back, straighten both legs. Maybe you rotate the right toes to the right edge of the mat. So thinking about right foot 45 degrees. Feeling really firm in this position with the foundation of your feet. Take an inhale breath, and as you exhale, fold. As you fold, feel the stretch deepening at the left hamstring. You can take a little micro movement of slightly sending that left hip back, right hip forward, noticing how that feels. On your next inhale, take a half lift. Now, as you exhale, step your right foot in line with your left and come into your fold. Now, as you come into your fold, notice the left leg, notice the right leg. Inhale, half lift. Bring the hands back to the blocks if you're using them. And then step the left foot halfway back. You can rotate those left toes, left foot at 45. Once both legs are straight, on an exhale breath, bend the elbows, lower the head towards the right leg. Feel into the right side. Think about that micro movement, just gently shifting that right hip back, left hip forward. Give yourself time to breathe and feel into this area. You might not even need the blocks. You might bring your fingertips or your palms down to the mat. This is totally up to you. I recommend taking the option that feels most beneficial in your body today. On your next inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, step the left foot in line with the right and fold. Notice the right leg. Notice the left leg. If the blocks are in your way, you can remove them. And soften the knees, take a little bend. Slowly start to rise up. Take your time, there's no rush. Let the head come up last to prevent you from getting dizzy. And as you arrive to this standing position, just bring your arms by your sides, palms are facing forward. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Maybe take the shoulders up, back, and down like we practice from a seated option. Now feeling the foundation at the feet, maybe lifting the toes, spreading them wide, and then maybe rocking forward and back. Come back to your breath. Take a pause of reflection. Come back to your intention. Back to basics. Refining each pose. Now from here, lift your arms, reach your fingers opposite directions. As you exhale, cross your right arm over your left, bend your elbows. Let the palms meet if that's available. Keep the shoulders low, just lift the elbows, hold and breathe. On your next exhale, lower the elbows, reach the fingers out, and then exhale, now left arm over the right, elbows bend, hands meet, keep the shoulders low, lift the elbows, hold and breathe. Simply notice where you feel the sensation. As you exhale, lower the elbows. Inhale, reach the fingers back out. Exhale, lower the hands down. So if you're standing at the top of your mat, know that we're coming into a wide-legged stance. So we want to use the length of the mat. So you might step one foot back and then turn so that all 10 toes are facing the same direction. Now, as you open the legs and separate them from each other, make sure that you don't feel like your legs are going to split apart. As you come into the forward fold, you might decide to take the legs further apart if that's okay for your body. But just starting off where you feel really stable, take your hands to your hips. And as you inhale, open your heart, bring your elbows towards each other. As you exhale, dive forward, and then take your hands from your hips down to the mat. Now, this is where you might notice if you want to widen the feet. So as long as you feel really stable, inhale, take another half lift. And then exhale, fold. Now you should be feeling sensation at the inner thighs. You might even feel into the hips, the hamstrings, calf muscles. Relax the head and the neck, crown of the head facing down to the mat. We'll start to shift from side to side. So go ahead and walk your hands over to one foot. And as you bring your hands over, bend that knee, extend the other leg. Press the sole of the foot to the mat. Then bend the opposite knee, walk the hands over, switch it up now on this side. As you take it back over for your second round, you might go deeper by sitting lower and lifting the toes of the straight leg so they're facing up to the ceiling. If that feels good on your body, try it on the other side. If it doesn't, you can stick with our first option. And then we'll take one more on each side. So an opportunity to go a little deeper again. Now you can take a bind. You can take the arm in front of the knee. Opposite arm comes behind, hands meet, chest and shoulder opens, gaze up. Again, if that doesn't feel good in your body, it's just an option. Everything that I'm offering today are just options. And just so that you can pick and choose what's really working with your body today. Finding our way back to center, back into this forward fold. Inhale, take a half lift. Pause and exhale here. Take your hands to your hips. Inhale, crown of the head rises up back to our standing wide legs. Now rotate the heels in and the toes out. From here, we're going to lift the arms up. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Inhale, extend the limbs. Exhale, bend. And again. Movement is following the breath. And as you're doing this, feel the strength in your legs. Feel the muscles activating. As you bend the knees, notice if you want to sit a little lower, but don't sit lower than your knees. Feel all of this energy in your body. And finish off this round. Exhale, take the hands down. Pause here for a full round of breath. Exhale, let it go. Let's start to heel toe the feet closer together. So now opening the feet a little wider than hip distance. You can start to draw circles with the hips. You can decide if you want the circles to be big or small. And when you're ready, you can circle around opposite direction. And bring the feet closer together so the big toes meet. Now, as the big toes meet, lift one of your heels and circle the knee around. Feel a nice stretch at the arch of your foot. You might circle around opposite direction. Also stretching the area underneath your toes. So this feels really good. A lot of us hold a lot of stress and tension here. All right, so the right heel comes down. Now, or whichever one you started with, lift the opposite heel, draw circles with the knee. And then opposite direction. Bring the heel down. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Take your hands to your jeans pockets as if you're placing your hands in your jeans. And as you do this, press the hips forward. Open the heart. Send the elbows back. Imagine your heart reaching up to the sky. And then come back up to center. You might take a different variation this time, interlacing your fingers, pressing palms together, opening the heart, driving the fist down to the ground. Open the heart. Exhale, release. Shake out the hands. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Forward fold. Inhale is a half lift. Now, as you exhale, plant the hands. Step the right toes way back. And as you step the right toes back, lower the right knee down. Lift the arms up. Know that if you want to feel a little more stable, you can take your hands to blocks. Now, as you press your hips forward, make sure that your right knee isn't coming past your toes. You can always shimmy your foot forward to get that knee tracking above the ankle. So in our knee down lunge, back toes can be curled or not. This is a personal preference. Really opening up that psoas. So if you spend a lot of time sitting, this is a great option for you. Now your hands don't have to be at the blocks. You can bring your hands to your thigh, press the hips forward more, go a little deeper. You can also reach the fingertips up towards the sky, gaze is forward. And then the hands can come down to the blocks or to the mat. If the toes are curled, uncurl them, lift the hips, send them back just enough to where your hip is above your back knee. So now the front leg is straight, lift the toes, point the toes, feel a nice stretch at the top of the foot, and then release that point, flex the toes. Now as you exhale, hinge at the hips, coming back into that hamstring, gently folding forward. Option to use the blocks or option to take your hands down to the mat. Really taking our time to release tension, to move with intention, and just revisiting the basics. Inhale, rise up. Now, as you exhale, you're going to bend that front knee again. From here, you can curl the right toes, come off the right knee. Here, you might draw some circles with your right heel and then circle around opposite direction. Now, as you change this up, you can slide that front foot back, letting the knees meet, or you can use your energy to step that right foot forward. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, now the left toes step back, and then the left knee comes down. So coming into our knee down lunge, bringing the blocks back if you want to, blocks under the shoulders, pressing the hips forward, setting it up on this side, making sure that right knee is tracking above the right ankle. Option to take the hands to the right thigh, going a little deeper if you'd like, if that's your intention today. This is your class, it's all up to you. And then we've got the option where we can reach the fingertips up. Now on our next exhale, we're gonna bring the hands back down to the blocks. Uncurl the back toes, lift the hips and the back, straighten that front leg, lift the toes off the mat, and then just point the toes. Give the top of the foot an opportunity to stretch. Release the point, flex the toes. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, lift your head. Exhale, bend the right knee. Take it forward. Maybe you're using the blocks, maybe not. Bringing the hands down to the mat. You can lift off of the knee. And then from here, just drawing circles with that left heel. First in one direction, and then switch it up opposite direction. Now from here, we are going to ground down, so lower that knee down. This time we're going to slide that right foot back so the knees meet, removing your props if they're blocking your way. And then bend the elbows, lower your chest, lower your chin to the mat. Come onto the belly. And as you come onto the belly, you might stack one hand on top of the other, resting your forehead on your hands. Simply noticing your breath, taking a moment of stillness, giving yourself time to ground down, simply noticing how it feels to be in a prone position with the belly down. From here, we'll lift the head, take the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing the tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale, lift your chest, gaze forward. And as you exhale, lower down. Slide the hands towards the ribs. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the belly, extend the arms. Exhale, lower down. Then from here, we can lift the arms, the legs, the chest, flying the arms back. You can take an option to see if your hands connect to your feet, coming into a bow pose, and finding the hand grip that's comfortable for you. Gazing forward, maybe rocking on your belly with your breath, and then release. Now, because we did a few back bends there, you're going to want to transition back to child's pose. Just like I showed you earlier, so option to keep those knees wide, arms forward. Or you can take the option to bring the knees together, feet together, arms by your sides, forehead to the mat, shoulders relax. Child's pose. Inhale, lift your head. Find that straight spine just like we started. And then lift your hips enough to bring your feet out to one side. Extend the legs in front of you. Now, just like we did from a standing position, we're going to come into a seated forward fold rather than standing. So first, I like to come into this by leaning over to my left side and then taking my right hand to pull the right glute back. And then leaning over to the right, pull the left glute back. Now feeling a little more grounded in the sits bones. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the sky. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, fold. Now, don't worry about grabbing onto your feet or your ankles. Maybe just let your arms rest by your sides. And with each exhale, fold a little deeper. On your next exhale, maybe taking a deeper fold. Inhale, let the head rise up. And from here, bend the knees. And as you bend the knees, check around on your mat. Make sure there's enough space for you to lower down onto your back, your shoulders, and your head. So now coming into a supine or reclined position. As you get there, just give yourself a couple rounds of breath with this neutral spine, with the knees bent. You might even take your hands to your belly. And as you inhale, feel your belly pressing to your hands. And as you exhale, feel the belly soften. And again. From here, you can lift your feet and come into your version of happy baby. If you have a tendency to grab the pinky sides of your feet, maybe switch it up and take your peace fingers onto your big toes. Position the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling, as if you're walking on the ceiling. Knees are bent. Maybe you rock from side to side. Maybe you straighten one leg. That feels good. You can try that on the other side. You might even like straightening both legs if that's available in your body. And then you can bend the knees, bring them back in. Release the feet. And then just take the right ankle to the left thigh. From here, reach the right hand between the legs. Take the left hand to the outside of the left leg. Interlace the fingers. Position that left ankle in line with the left knee and then pull the left thigh towards your body. Nice deep stretch at the right hip. This is our reclined figure four. Great way to release hip tightness. And from here, we'll keep the shape of the legs. Just release the hands, open the arms out to the side. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, lower the legs over to the left. Focus on keeping that right shoulder down. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can extend that right leg, taking the left hand to the outside of the foot, straightening the right leg, keeping that right shoulder down. Gaze can be to the right, or you can look straight up to the ceiling, or you can look over to your left foot. So deepening the spiraling of the spine by looking to the right, making it more gentle by looking to the left. If the leg is extended, release it. Rebend the knee. Inhale, knees rise up. Now, as you exhale, take that left ankle to the right thigh. Take the left hand between the legs, right arm around the outside of the right leg, fingers interlace, right ankle in line with the right knee. Now, pull the right thigh towards the body. Nice deep stretch on the left side, left hip. External rotation. There are so many poses that we can do in our yoga practice. So many different things we could do. We could have a very long series of back to basics to revisit all of them, but just having a little taste today From here, we'll release the hands, keep the legs as they are, open the arms out, and gently bring the legs over to the right. Maybe that left foot drops down to the mat. Left shoulder stays down. Now, we've got the option. Sorry, I had to unclip that microphone that was in the way. Now, we might take the right hand to the left foot, extending the left leg. Remember, gaze can be straight up. To deepen the spiraling, you can look off to the left. Or for a more gentle option for your neck, you can look over to the right. Whatever you choose, just hold and breathe. Get a nice spinal twisting. And at the same time, feeling into the IT band if the leg is straight. Now releasing the foot, rebending the knee. Inhale, knees rise up. Exhale, let the feet lower down to the mat. Take a full round of breath. From here, you can come into your version of Shavasana. Just giving yourself an opportunity to take some time and relaxation if you'd like. It's a really nice element to incorporate into your practice because it gives us time to integrate the work that we've done. And it also gives us time to just practice presence in our own body, allowing ourselves to just be without doing. Just time of telling your body thank you for all of the movement and exploration in our back to basics option. You can stay in this posture of relaxation for as long as you'd like. And we'll close here together today. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in this practice. It's my honor to be here with you. Namaste.